there's like a reputation, like a big reputation that OChem has as like all the upperclassmen kind of scare you and they try to tell you that, oh, you're gonna have a bad time.
The students that were approaching OChem for the first time were already very scared of it. They had no experience with the class itself, but upperclassmen and other, even like for me personally, like even my primary care physician like said, oh, OChem, it's the worst.
You kind of go into OChem with like a bad mindset, which is probably like what sets up a lot of students for failure anyways, because like we already don't think we're going to do well in the class.
I used to feel really, really good about chemistry. I had a great AP chemistry teacher in high school, so general chemistry in college was easy for me. I felt really good with it. I thought I was great at it. And then I took OChem 1. I still feel pretty good. And then I took that exam, and then I cried. I was like, oh my God, this is not what I thought it was going to be. And I am pre-pharmacy. So then I was like, oh God, like I've just been like living off of what I thought chemistry was. Like it actually isn't for me. I really had a huge breakdown.
I found is people took the wrong approach when they started. There was this idea that I think a lot of it comes out of the earlier introductory science courses where you get used to this kind of rote memorization. I can just like information load my brain a couple days before the exam, like I did in my bio exams and my gen chem exams, and that'll be enough. And then a lot of that will just go out the window and then I'll prepare for the next exam. But in OChem, it really kind of builds on itself in a stepwise manner. And so getting those core concepts and understanding them, working through practice problems, doing all those kind of things really helps because it gets you in a mentality of understanding the core of the problems and not just the surface level of these two things react and it creates this, but knowing like the electron transfers and stuff really helps. And I think that all the flashcards and stuff was never really helpful for me. It was always like work through a problem, but not just work through a problem, explain the solution of the problem to somebody else to show that you really understood how it worked.
I think OChem is all about applying the concepts that you've already memorized. So I really think memorizing the concept shouldn't be like the main focus of your studying, but you should memorize the concepts. Even if it's in like the most generalized form, you still should memorize them so you can apply them to more specific situations or to like situations that you didn't talk about in class, but you're going to see in the exam, for example.
When they're learning like a bunch of new mechanisms or something, at first it feels like you're just memorizing stuff and it doesn't click or anything. But sometimes the pattern, observing the pattern comes after you memorize. Like after you memorize 5 of them, then you'll see, oh, this is what they have in common, and then it becomes, kind of transcends past that. But sometimes whether the application comes first or the memorization comes first almost doesn't matter. You have to do both. So yeah, at some point you have to. Sometimes there's a time and place for just sitting down and memorizing. There's a time and place for like quizzing your friends.
Then I found better study strategies. I hate doing practice exams. I hate it so much. Like that's like my least favorite thing to do ever when I'm studying, but it does help me a lot. So I made myself do it.
I was sitting across a table from this guy and he had all of these pins sticking out and he was like trying to rotate them. And I was like, are you taking organic chemistry? So then I started getting my pens and we were trying to make organic molecules and trying to see them in 3D and visualizing it and talking through it. And seeing how he talked about it and seeing how I talked about it. And then we learned more than what we would have if we were just kind of struggling by ourselves. So that was really, really helpful. You kind of get that look like, are you struggling? I'm struggling. And for some reason, like we were on the same plane. But when we started talking with each other, we realized the strengths and weaknesses and kind of bonded on that. But yeah, we both did eventually really well in the exam. He went to medical school and everything, so.
I had like this small like whiteboard, and I would just like write everything out also on paper, and yeah, just writing things out and kind of like picturing in your head where things are and making sense of that, I think is super helpful to understanding mechanisms and then just everything else after that.
I was able to go from chapter to chapter and really see how the strategic mindset required for organic chemistry is kind of flows through each chapter, if that makes sense. And then when I took the final, I was like, okay, I can finally see the whole picture. And my final was like an A, and like my other exams were like C's, B's, and maybe I think that third exam was an A. But yeah, it kind of creeped up, and then I had almost like zero trouble. I knew all of the material